the range, as people often comment, it is incredibly wide, from science fiction, Alien, Blade Runner, history, 1492, Gladiator, thrillers, Black Rain, Thelma and Louise, feminist movie, A Good Year, which is a kind of a comedy about downshifting, really. It's hard to imagine they're all made by one director. Do you have any sense of what a Ridley Scott movie is?
No, I always say there never was a plan, and there still is no plan. And I just jump into what fascinates me next. And what's next for me very often is like 2 or 3 years hence. So I know what I'm going to do next year, and more or less what I'm going to do the year after. So I'm already developing that in mind. So the subject is chosen, and the connection between A Good Year, American Gangster, what I'm going to do next, what I'm going to do next. There's no apparent connection. I mean, you can always go into everything and actually find a psychological connection, but in brief, no, there's no connection.
Well, hopefully you can find those psychological connections, but there are even some directors, actors who there seems not to be a plan. The plan is to have no plan. They try to do work as different as possible. But do you think like that? Do you think, I've done an epic, now I need to do an intimate film?
The ideal thing would be to do a big one and a small one, a big one and a small one, simply because of the physical aspects of making a film. Most people are not really conscious of how the physicality involved in making a film, even a small film. And I'm not going to bore anyone with actual, a version of what that entails. But it is really, it's tiring, but I think the exhilaration of making it absolutely puts away any thoughts or sense of being tired until somebody says it's a wrap, the film is finished, and then you kind of collapse. But for the moment, during the process of the film, I think filming is so exhilarating that I still think it's the best job in the world.
But anyone who's seen Gladiator, even as an outsider, we can see that would be exhausting. But when we watch something like the most recently released film, A Good Year, it looks like comedy, France, relatively small characters, ensemble cast. That looks less exhausting, but it isn't.
No, it's still, and it also depends on the kind of quality you're aiming at, and therefore, if you're aiming high, which I always am, then my leading actor is always aiming very high, and so nothing is as easy as it looks. And so always the amusing thing when editors see the rushes in the editing room, they never really realize how much effort and pain and anxiety goes into it. And there's a lot of stuff happens off camera prior to production, prior to the day of filming, discussions on a Saturday and a Sunday, where suddenly the actor will say, I'm not happy with this scene, and so you got to meet. This goes on all the time throughout the whole process of movie making. So that's going on apart from the process of writing in the morning saying action and cut.
I'm kind of nervous when I take tests.
I've got 4 skin jobs walking the streets.
They're either a benefit or a hazard. If they're a benefit, it's not my problem.
I'm Rachel.
Deckard.
Have you ever retired a human by mistake?
No.
I need the old Blade Runner. This is a bad one.
How can it not know what it is?
If only you could see what I've seen.
More human than human is our motto.
What if I go north? Disappear? Would you come after me?
No, you would, but somebody would.
It's too bad she won't live!
I can see you!
Time to die.
Will you help us? What seems to be the problem?
Death.
I want more life.
experiment, nothing more. Nothing more. More human than human is our motto.
Blade Runner 30th Anniversary Collector's Edition. Coming soon to Blu-ray. Includes a limited edition spinner.